So how do you harness the same kind of confidence I have? To keep cool when most people would be sweating through their shirts. It's not rocket science. The only way to access that kind of confidence is by putting in the work. That's it. Have you truly dedicated yourself to learning everything you can about your field? Do you give 100% every time you walk into the office, sit down in the classroom, or step onto the stage for an audition? If the answer is yes, what do you really have to be afraid of? You've already done everything you can do. Now you just need to make sure the world recognizes it. That is a challenge, especially if you're not someone who's been raised from an early age to think that you belong in those meetings. If you're not a white guy or didn't get into the right prep school, you might have to go a little harder to get the credit you deserve. It shouldn't be that way, but it is what it is for now. You're going to have to project the confidence that you belong, that you've got the answers, even if the people you're talking to aren't giving you the credit. All your hard work isn't going to be worth shit if you're not ready. No, determined to share it with the world. I'll give you an example. A guy in the music industry who I've known for years hasn't been able to translate his hard work and talent into the success he deserves. I won't say his name because he's a great dude and I don't want to hurt his confidence. See, I am mature. He started as a street guy, but thanks to his charisma, intelligence, and work ethic, he was able to make real inroads in the music business. He became close to several moguls, myself included, who really trusted his judgment and taste. He made good money and was respected in the industry, but he was never quite able to reach mogul level himself. And I knew that frustrated him. He'd ask me for advice, but I couldn't honestly put my finger on what was holding him back. Then one day we went to a meeting with some big executives at a record label. Smooth guys with suits, good haircuts, and nice leather shoes. Guys who were extremely self-assured. They were confident, but they also didn't really understand the project we were there to discuss. My guy did though, up and down, back and forth. We spent hours talking about it, and he understood it both factually and instinctively. That's why I brought him with me, because he could articulate what needed to be done better than I could. I expected him to blow them away, but when those executives started asking questions and spitballing ideas, he just sat on his hands. Didn't make a peep. You would have thought he was just a buddy of mine along for the ride, instead of what he was, which was the one true expert in the room. At first I couldn't understand what he was doing, or not doing. Then it dawned on me. He's afraid. He's scared to raise his hand because he doesn't want to give the wrong answer. He put in the work, but in the presence of those executives' self-assurance, he lost his faith in himself. And that meant the executives never noticed him, never made a mental note that he was a guy to keep an eye on, never offered him the platform that he was looking for and deserved. Instead, he stayed stuck in place. It was a pretty good place, one that a lot of other folks would like to reach, but not where he aspired to. He was stuck at a level that wasn't equal to his skill. When the money in the music business started to dry up, he found himself in a very vulnerable spot. If he had made it to that mogul status, he would have been okay. He would have already put away his rainy day money. Instead, the rain came and he got soaked. He was one of the first to lose their jobs. It's great to be a high-paid exec, but when things start to go south, those are the first people to get the axe. Sometimes it's better to be a little underpaid. Today, he tries to do consultant work, but he's on the outside looking in, becoming the old man in a space that prioritizes youth. Don't make the same mistake. If you put in the work and know your shit, raise your damn hand. Every single time. There's nothing worse than being someone who spent hours, even when you're off the clock at home, studying your company's reports. But when your boss asks for that information, you always let someone else provide it first. That person probably hasn't put in nearly the work that you have, but they're also not afraid to be wrong. So when your boss looks at this person, she sees someone who is active, who's participated, who seems passionate. When she looks at you, she doesn't know what to think. Maybe she doesn't think anything at all. It's not fair, but that person with their hand always up is going to get promoted before you. They're going to get an office before you. They're going to leverage their promotion to a better paying job at a competitor before you even get a raise. You were better trained, better prepared, but you didn't let the world see that because you were scared. That fear is going to stop you from getting full value for your work. Don't let it happen. On the other side of this coin is the person who's too quick to raise their hand. They're doing it because they're fearful someone else is going to get props before they do. So even if they don't know the answer, they're going to say something anyway. I knew a guy like that too. We go into a meeting and he'd be shouting out a solution before anyone had